intro.
Hello everyone and welcome to the MNBL playoffs. This is the first of two semifinal games we've got going on here today. We have the Pistons versus the Sonics. Again, Tam, the Pistons were one game away from going undefeated, and they lost the last game of the season. Do you think that's going to affect them here today?
I don't think so. I think it brings a lot off their shoulders, and I think they'll do even better.
Oh, so you think they'll rebound then? And what about the Sonics? Do you think they have any hope in containing this high-powered Pistons team?
I definitely think so. I saw them last week, and I saw a lot of good things.
Yeah.
So, don't count them out.
We'll look for the tandem of Sadiki Cabo and Michael O'Brien, see if they can take it to these Pistons to give them a second straight loss and advance to the finals. We'll be right back with you to bring you the semifinal Pistons versus Sonics matchup. Good. I'll stop.
Number 52, guys. Number 14.
I don't know what to say.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first of two games here, the semifinal round of the MNBL playoffs, Tam. We got the Pistons versus the Sonics. I'm Ian Tasso alongside Alex Tam. We're ready to give you this game. Any early predictions before we get anything started? We're going to get the teams introduced here, and we'll be right back with you to give you some pregame and our analysis.
It's a wrestling thing. I'll explain after.
Okay. And we're back. We got the teams introduced. We're ready to tip off here. As we said, first of two semi-final playoff games to be played here today, Tam. Before we start any action, I want to get your prediction. What do you think?
I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Pistons are just too hard to overcome for the Sonics,
Well, we'll see. We talked about, we made that trade earlier on in the season for Ricky Douglas, who is now leading the league in scoring as the Pistons tip the ball out of bounds. But the Sonics have Sadiki Cabo and Michael O'Brien, who are 5 and 6 in the scoring in the league, so they're not exactly...
Right. There's no reason that you should count the Sonics out.
Absolutely not. You can't. Not after the season they've been having.
Right, and playoffs are another story in almost every sport.
Yeah.
But tough to say this early on, but we'll see.
Yeah. Remember, the Pistons are just chock full of stars. You got a guy in Ricky Douglas who's leading the league in scoring, and you can't forget about Bellin Daniel.
Hard reject there.
Bellin Daniel's number 3 in overall scoring. He's leading the league in free throw, and he's leading the league in three-point shooting. So they've got a bunch of talented guys out there, not to mention you got Charles Washington down low, who just scored his first 2 points of the game. So they're going to be a very tough team for this Sonics team to overcome.
I think the Sonics have a good matchup, though, with Charles Washington with Michael O'Brien. They're about the same size.
Yeah, they got a big battle going down there. Stand number 33, Gene Borgella. It's up to the line for the Sonics. No good on his first. No good on the second one. Rebound Pistons. The 2-0 lead now here with 8 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, because I can't leave the cablecast booth. I need you. I'm just trying to get your attention.
Early turnover by the Pistons. We'll see if that is a continuing theme.
Oh yeah. Can't afford costly turnovers in a playoff game like this.
That's right. Every possession counts.
Yeah.
And just like that, turnover by Sonics.
Charles Washington. Daniel puts it up for three, but it's no good. It was the league leading three-point shooter.
That wasn't the reason.
No good on that one either. Rebound O'Brien. See, and you talk about that matchup down low between O'Brien and Washington. The last game we saw the Pistons play, or I saw them play, Washington was just dominating everything down low in the paint.
Right.
But it won't be that easy for him today.
No, not today, you know. They'll clog the lane if they can.
Yeah.
If he gets the ball, they'll probably maybe try and double team him.
Especially with a guy, they got Michael O'Brien, who's a force down there, and he'll hopefully be able to neutralize Washington.
I think he'll challenge him at least.
Yeah. Washington's averaging 10.2 points a game. We'll see if the Sonics can do something about that as Ariel Hertz carries the ball up court for them, running their offense, making a move. Kicks it out to Cabo. Trying to get the ball inside to Caleb Hopkins, but Daniel, the nice move to the hoop. Unfortunately, it's swatted out of bounds, but Pistons will retain possession. It's Daniel for three again. That one's no good either. Wow. Early on, the league leading three-point shooter.
Right.
A little off the mark.
I think what we're seeing is both teams are playing hard, so each team is thus finding a difficult time scoring points because they're all playing so hard.
Yeah.
Hey guys, little technical information. We'll be using the sliding scale for the next two games.
Oh yeah.
3 games.
Go on and explain what that is for those of us that don't know, including myself.
It sounds more complicated than what it is. It's basically if one team shows up with 13 players and another team shows up with 10 players, the amount of minutes that each particular player has to play is different for the team that has less than the team.
It depends on how many people show up then?
Exactly. It's basically so that every player plays a certain amount of minutes.
Yeah.
So nobody can say that they didn't get to play in the big important games.
That makes sense.
Ariel Hertz dribbling around, pass to Hopkins. No good. I'm sorry, Jace Carl.
Jace Carl now running the floor for the Sonics, loses control of his dribble, gets it back. He's got an open shot and he's going to take it. And it's good for three. Jace Carl coming up with a three-pointer.
Points like that, really, really helpful.
Yeah. Puts them in charge here now, 5-4. They got a small lead with 4.5 minutes left here. Ariel Hertz. A nice little steal there off of a Pistons pass. They're going to slow it down. Michael O'Brien telling him to slow it back down. There's Jace Carl on the outside. Over to Hertz again. Over to Cabo. Down inside to Michael O'Brien. Who goes up and he's called for a travel.
You know, guys, I really think the Sonics team has a capable, good possible chance of beating the Pistons. They only lost to them by 5 points or something like that during the regular season. They actually were ahead. There was a couple of technicals during the regular season at the last 2 minutes of the game that cost them that game.
So you think they have a chance down this
Absolutely. My pick, if you watched Around the Rim, my pick is going to be the Sonics and the Lakers in the big dance. That's my ultimate pick, and it's a coin toss of who's going to win. And I flipped the coin, and I made Coach Beanie Amos of the Lakers call it in the air, even though he refused to. He called tails. It came up tails. So my pick to win it all is the Lakers.
The Lakers.
The Lakers.
An interesting pick. And then, by the way, the second game we have going on will be the Lakers versus the Kings.
Right.
That's going to be a good one.
That is going to be a good one.
It's going to be a very good game.
And I think if the Sonics beat the Pistons today, I think they may have a better chance to take it all the way.
There's no doubt that if this 4 seed takes down the number 1, they'll have all the momentum in the world and all the confidence in the world. And I think whoever they play next week will be in a little trouble, but still the Lakers are picked to win the finals.
Only by me. I mean, you guys are entitled to your own
Yeah.
picks, obviously.
Cabo now pulls up a jumper, a little bit off the mark. Rebound Pistons. Big number 21, Charles Washington. This number. Over to Bell and Daniel, going to make a move, puts up the 3, and that one's a little off the mark as well. Pistons now make a substitution. They're going to take out Bell and Daniel, give them some rest.
Right. Almost mishandled there by Hurts. Gets it back in.
Oh, by the way, one more thing I forgot to mention
about
that sliding scale.
Looking for the open man.
One thing I forgot to mention about that sliding scale is if a team is in violation of that sliding and there's a player that needs minutes, as soon as Commissioner Ken Bizanson notices it, play will stop until that player is put in the game.
Wow.
Interesting.
How easy is it for the coaches to keep track of this?
Not easy at all. Very difficult, actually. To be honest with you, I've never gotten a coach's perspective on it. So I mean, and I don't coach in the league myself, so I can't really say. But I would imagine it can't be easy.
Yeah. Well, it's another thing they have to think about.
I was just going to say that's one more thing on their mind that they're worried about.
And in a game like this, I'm sure they're thinking about a lot of stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Oh. Cabo, the nice little floater there, but not enough. 7-5, a relatively low-scoring game here.
Right, you know, both teams struggling defensively. Struggled.
Oh, rebound Pistons. Oh, that's a travel call.
Looks like a football tackle.
Yeah. Looking like a middle linebacker out there.
Yeah.
He said 7-5. Pistons here, the number 1 seed with the lead over the number 4 seed, the Sonics. Talking about the Pistons, almost finished undefeated. Almost the first season ever. Came up just a little bit short. The Cabo pops up a 3, but it's no good. Rebound Pistons looking to expand their 2-point lead here. Lucas and Jemmy with a drive. Gives it over to Ricky McCoy. It's a nice little layup.
Big Kyle Rufo about to check into the game for the Pistons. He's a big man underneath.
Brian tries to get it to Hopkins, no good, and it's intercepted by the Pistons now here. Making a rush towards the hoop. No good, a rebound O'Brien. Ariel Hurts walking the ball up the floor for the Sonics. Oh, had an open 3. I thought he was going to take it. Oh, but
turnover.
That was just sloppy.
Tries to behind the back pass.
It doesn't work out well. And Jemmy still comes up with the ball, and he's called for an up and over. Did you see that? A little behind the back, looking like the Harlem Globetrotters.
And he's arguing the call, too, which is great. Love it.
It didn't really work out too well.
No.
Not so much, resulted in a carry. But Sonics will take their first time out.
So you got 51.7 seconds here. The Sonics are down by 4 to the number 1 seeded Pistons.
And although they're down 4 points, don't let it fool you. Both teams were playing hard. You got a 3 made by, I believe it was Hopkins. Both teams playing strong defense, keeping it a low-scoring game. but we'll see what happens. Timeout is over. 51 seconds left in the first quarter. Score is 9-5 Pistons. Wilcox will inbound it to Siddiqui Kaba. Clock's ticking away. Looking for the open man, dribbling. Finds Wilcox. Back to Siddiqui. He drives the hoop. Layup's no good. .28 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, Ricky Douglas is leading the game in scoring, and he grabs another three. That gives him 8 points here in the first quarter. So we got 14 seconds left now. The Sonics trying to not let this one get too out of hand.
Right.
They love to score here before the buzzer goes off. Trying to work the ball inside to Hopkins. It's grabbed by Keegan Wilcox. Can they get it off before the buzzer? No good, and the rebound is tipped away, but that'll be it for the first quarter. As the Pistons have a 12-5 lead, Tam. Right. Are the Sonics losing control of this game, or is it too early to count them out?
A little too early to say. You know, Ricky Douglas.
Yeah.
Proven tough for them to handle, you know?
He proves again and again why he's the leading scorer in this league.
Guys, I got to tell you, the Pistons, not the Pistons, the Sonics are a come-from-behind team. They came from behind most every game this season, and they're in the slot, so to speak, for their type of play, because being in the fourth spot, that's right where they like to be.
We'll be looking for that later on, see if the Sonics can mount a comeback.
Right. Maybe they're more comfortable, you know, chasing after something instead of trying to keep the lead they would have.
That's a good point.
The coach wouldn't agree with that, but it is true.
Hey, you never know. Now we're ready to begin the second quarter. Again, the Pistons 12-5 over the Sonics, led by Ricky Douglas, who's got 8 of their 12 points. Again, leading the league in scoring and staying true to that name right now. As we kick off the second quarter, there's Ricky again for 3. Number 5 at the rebound. That's Hervé Charles. Put back. Did he get a hand on that ball, or did he get a hand on the hand, or what was that?
I got a hand on the ball, but he just mishandled it.
I heard a sound as he shot that 3. I don't know what it was though. It's Caleb Hopkins with a putback for the Sonics. So now up 14-7.
Ricky Douglas's MO is he'll shoot 33s and hit 10 of them.
And that's not really that good.
No.
That doesn't help out the team. And there's Ricky again putting up a 3. A little too much. That was more of a pass than anything else.
Yeah, good cover.
Right, you know. You want to get him to take a 3 somewhere a little easier than the baseline, you know?
Yeah. Coach is telling them right now, don't force it, all right? They got a very talented team. There's no need for one player to try to take over here.
That's been Ricky Douglas's MO for the past 3 years.
Yep.
He'll shoot 30, 35 threes. He'll hit 15 of them if he's lucky.
See if maybe the Pistons try to work through someone else here. Nope, there's Ricky Douglas again, who's making a nice drive, but too much on the ball. Back up, not good again. Hervé Charles with a rebound. And he's whistling for his up and down or a jump ball.
Not sure.
Your boy Ryan Tam coming in now for the Sonics. Same last name.
Maybe he'll prove lucky.
Hey, you never know.
Any relation?
No, I don't think so. Jump ball is grabbed by the Pistons. Ricky Douglas trying to find some room, puts up an awkward-looking 3, but the rebound's grabbed by Hervé Charles, who gets another one. Maybe that's a plan of theirs.
Maybe, you know, Sonics are having a tough time rebounding on either side of the court.
Maybe the Pistons now are just going to have Ricky Douglas hoist up 3s. If he makes it good, if he doesn't, Hervé Charles will grab the rebound and put it back in.
So far, he's 1 for 5, I believe.
But that's eventually going to happen, you know. The Pistons love to clog the lane for the rebounds, but eventually fouls will happen.
So
and that's, I think, a key for the Sonics. They got to make all their free throws.
That's going to be very important.
Right. I mean, it's important for any team, but especially for the Sonics.
And especially in a playoff game like this. Right. Turnovers and free throws become magnified 1,000 times when you get into the playoffs.
And you're absolutely right. The Sonics will get their share of free throws.
Got a violation.
It's the question of whether or not they'll make them. Right. Because remember in the playoffs, everyone's so talented that it's really just a matter of who makes and who doesn't make their free throws and keep control of the ball. Oh, Jace Carr goes up for a layup, loses control. And the ball almost slipped out of his hands.
Just a little bit too fast. Hard D by the Pistons. Upset that we lost that. Easy 2 points there.
Guys, as Nesta Dudley, your predecessor, would say in that situation, his butt cheeks got tight.
Got a little nervous. Daniel by 2 with a drive. Kicks it back to Hervé Charles. No good on the jumper. Charles gets his own rebound, though. Over to Ricky Douglas. Back inside to Bell and Daniel. Up and no good. But the rebound is grabbed. And number 42, Kyle Rufo, grabs his first 2 points of the game. And the Pistons are now up 18-7, Tam. What do the Sonics got to do to get themselves back in this game?
You know, we got to concentrate. Those rebounds again, you know. They had him, and it got slapped out of his hand, and the Pistons were able to convert. And, you know, here they'll go up to the foul line again. Guess not. Inbound pass.
Yeah.
They can't let their lead get too far.
Yeah. There's Cabo, puts up a 3, way too much on that one.
Right.
Oh, nearly intercepted. Jace Carl goes flying into the Sonics bench, but before we resume play, though, the Pistons are going to put in a substitute. They're going to bring 5 people in and 5 people out.
A line change, Hockey.
An entire switch. They're bringing back in, of course, Charles Washington, big number 21. And number 15, Bell and Daniel. Speak of the devil, putting up the 3. A little bit too much. Cabo grabs the rebound for the Sonics, and they've got to score here. And it's another turnover. Washington back over to Ricky McCoy, loses the ball.
Too many passes.
Michael O'Brien with control for the Sonics. Jace Carr now. Wow, we're going back and forth. It's turnover after turnover. I feel like I'm watching Pong. That old game on the computer. Back and forth, no one's scoring.
Well, did you hear what coach of the Pistons, Paul Conrad, just said? He goes, this isn't tennis.
It looks like tennis to me.
It does. Floor tennis.
Yeah.
Table tennis, tennis, and floor tennis.
Now Bell and Daniel for the Pistons. You get into the line, we talked about Bell and Daniel. He's a jack of all trades. Right. Number 3 in overall scoring, top free throw shooting, and number 1 in 3-point shooting. I mean, this is a guy that the Sonics don't want to see on the line.
Right, he's got a good shot.
Yeah, very good stroke.
If he's open, he'll most likely make it.
Yeah, especially if he's on the line.
Right.
He's shooting 70.7% this year.
That's really good.
And he just made 2 of them there. That'll up his percentage a little. The Sonics now going to call a timeout because they have to regain focus.
Right, you know, they're down 13 with only 4 minutes left in the half. Not looking too good for them, but like you said, they're a come from behind team.
So maybe they feel comfortable, but I don't know. Being down 13, I don't know anyone that feels.
I was just going to say, my predictions are a little shaky right now. They said they're a come from behind team, but that's a big behind to come from.
Exactly, yeah. They're going to have to pull a Celtics-Lakers game 4 last year or something.
There's still 20 minutes left to play, 2 periods.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of time. That's not the question.
Right.
The question is whether or not the Sonics will be able to kick it in gear and use that time. Because if they keep playing like they're playing right now, turning the ball over, giving the Pistons shots, it's going to be a long day at the office for the Sonics.
Right, you know, and now's their chance, you know?
Yeah. They have to...
Ricky Douglas is out.
Yeah?
Well, here's where the sliding scale comes into effect, guys, because you're going to have to take some of your big names out now.
Got to get everyone some work.
If it comes down to a close game, at the end of the game, you want your stars in there.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. O'Brien fighting down there.
That's what you got to see. You got to see.
Yeah.
You got to see heart and soul in it.
Oh, no. If there's any guy that's not going to let this team go down easy, it's going to be O'Brien.
That's right. You know, that's how you overcome size and aggressiveness.
Yeah. He's going to have his say.
Yeah, Ray's fight for it.
Yeah.
There have been times when the Pistons, during the season, where the Pistons looked like they were going to have their first loss a couple of times against different teams, and it was O'Brien who fired them up and got his team going and back into the game.
There you go. So look, they'll be looking to O'Brien to make something happen as he makes good on his first. And second free throws. 20-9 now, the Pistons lead as they call a timeout. And now if you're the Sonics, how important is it to cut a little bit more into this lead before halftime?
I think it's very important.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely don't want to go in down double digits at halftime. And not necessarily because it'll be tough to overcome, because there's plenty of time, but just psychologically.
Exactly, you know, and you got to change your game plan a little too. The more you're down, the more you got to play hard, you get tired, you know.
And another interesting thing to look at is the Pistons' psyche right now after they lose and they come out and now they're essentially having their way. Right. The Sonics team, I mean, they got to be pretty confident right now because they know when they're at the top of their game and they're controlling the ball like they are now, it's very difficult for anyone to beat them.
I tell you, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the Sonics locker room.
Yeah.
I know Coach Gary Rogers, who's been coaching this league for many years. He's a big, fearful man. And he gets going on a
oh, he's not going to let him down easy. No, there's no question. Especially if they go in down double digits like they are right now.
Absolutely.
Call now to Hopkins. Oh, wow.
Corbin.
That's a hard foul. Hard foul. Hopkins comes up grabbing his arm, but he looks to be okay.
Hard foul, but an easy call for the ref.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a definitely easy call. Hopkins now walking it off.
He's got to get to the line and shoot now with a sore elbow.
I know.
They want to give him a minute.
They'll give him some time. You gotta shake it off. He looks to be okay now, though.
I don't know, if I was him, I would have milked it a little bit longer just to make sure that elbow was 100%.
Yeah.
These are important shots here.
Yeah, we talk about how important free throw shots are.
Especially in this time where you're down by as many as you are, 11 points.
And there you go. The first one bricks off the back. Hawkins now got 2 points so far on the day. Trying to make that three.
He's coming out.
No good.
As soon as the stoppage of play, he's coming out.
Yeah, they definitely want to make sure that elbow isn't badly hurt because he's an important player in the Sonics lineup.
Right.
Oh. Nearly a steal by the Sonics with the rule of kickball. As Hopkins, you're right, comes out and Sadiki Cabo goes in, the leading scorer for the Sonics. Ooh, a nice little lay-in by Charles Washington. Unfortunately, no good. Pistons ball still. There's Washington working on O'Brien. You talk about how big a matchup that's going to be. Sadiki Cabo now running the floor for the Sonics. Goes hard to the hoop. Ooh. No good.
Mishandled by Tam there.
Yeah.
I was about to say, good rebound by Carl, but not so good there by Tam.
Well, it's tough because in a game like this, you got to get all the second opportunities you can against a team like the Pistons. So little things like that. Mishandling a rebound.
And I certainly think the Sonics coach will adjust that.
Yeah, I mean, they're a very talented team, and they should be able to overcome this. But there's another one. Tam getting out rebounded by number 21, Charles Washington, who's got some size on him, so there's no concern there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, travel call.
I thought they would have had the foul call.
I thought, but even the Pistons coach says you did. You traveled. Don't worry about it.
That's true. Not hard contact there.
No.
I mean, it definitely was a travel, but I thought the foul happened first.
Yeah. Ryan Tam out with the ball. Ball stolen by the Pistons. Daniel by 2. Oh, and a turnover by the Pistons.
Here we go.
There's Cabo again going up. No good. Rebound. Pistons. That Daniel now. So it's up and no good. Again, a little bit of a tennis match there. Back and forth. But
Sox have made good on a couple of fast breaks, but no good there.
Guys, I got to say, I know we're not really keeping track of turnovers, but I think there's been more turnovers than baskets in this game.
You know what? I honestly, I think you're maybe right. And that's definitely something they want to address going forward in this game.
Both teams.
Yeah.
Right, certainly both teams.
And if this goes down to the wire, which you never know, it may, the turnovers could become very important. And then we talk about how important free throws were. There's Bellandaniel again, leading the league in free throws, sinking 2. He's got 4 points, all on free throws today. Jace Carl now trying to make a move on Ricky McCoy. Gene Borgella, no good on the jump shot for the Sonics. Oh, he doesn't look like he's doing too good over there. Siddiqui Cabo, a nice little lay-in on the other side of the court. On number 3, Lucas and Jemmy hit the court and came up a little grimacing.
Right.
Getting a little chippy out there.
Right, playoff drama.
Yeah, not anything necessarily personal.
Certainly not.
But just physical. And there's a 3 by Ricky McCoy. Gives him 5 points on the day as the Pistons now lead 25-11. Bellandaniel trying to improve on that. And he's fouled.
Oh, you shooting!
It will not be a shooting foul.
No. Good news for the
Coach
Sonics.
Coach Palmer is yelling, he was shooting.
You know, anytime a guy like Bellandaniel has a chance to get to the line, you want to see him get there because he's going to make good on those free throws. Yeah, it's number 3, Lucas and Jemmy. Three off the mark, rebounded by Michael O'Brien.
I don't know if it's a strategy, guys, but I think the Pistons are trying to send a message to the Sonics going into
Hard rejection.
with all these threes.
And I think the message is self-explanatory when you go in if you're up 14 at half.
Well, I think they're trying to make it going up 20 where they're shooting.
Why not, right? You got a big guy like Chuck Washington down there grabbing the rebounds. You might as well hoist up threes.
Why not, right?
You'll probably get some points out of him eventually. There's Jace Carl making a move to the basket, and he's fouled by Washington.
And being up by 14, you can afford to miss them and cause a turnover.
Yeah. Washington not very happy with that foul call, but there's really no dispute there.
Right.
He went up and he got fouled, and there's Ricky Douglas now coming back in for the Pistons. Again, Douglas has been taken out. We talk about the sliding substitution. Douglas now back in.
Something not normally done in a regular season.
Right.
Selective hearing, Kenny.
This is Douglas in, and Washington, who just got the foul called on him, is out. You think maybe they're trying to get Douglas a couple last-second threes here before the half's over?
Yeah, I mean, why else would they put him in?
Why not, right?
Maybe
He
they...
comes down with a nice rebound off of two missed free throws. Ariel Hurts trying to get the ball into Michael O'Brien. Pistons fans looking for a travel there, but no such call. For a Jace Carl and a fouls whistle. Number 1, Ricky McCoy.
Already in the first half, we're in a double bonus.
But that could prove costly for the Pistons.
You know, and you were talking about it, Tam, the importance of free throws.
Right.
That means every time, whether it's a shooting foul or not, the Pistons are going to the line to shoot 2 for the rest of the game. That's huge.
Wow.
Huge.
It's not so good when the first half isn't even over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad because they do have a commanding lead,
right.
and it could prove deadly later on.
Yeah, exactly. Come down to hurt them. Jace Carl makes one of his 2 free throws with the ball stolen. Got back by the Pistons.
4 seconds left.
Clock ticks down, and Jemmy no play, and Ariel Hurts got to shoot the ball. Doesn't get it off before the buzzer. And we'll head into halftime with the Pistons leading the 4-seeded Sonics 25-12. They got them almost doubled up.
Right.
The Sonics got to refocus themselves for it. This one gets out of control. Ian Tasso and Alex Tam here. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to give you the second half of this one. Hey everyone, Ian Tasso back with Alex Tam.
That's me.
Going to do a little recap of the first half with the Pistons now beating the Sonics 25-12. A big lead going into the second half.
Right.
What do the Sonics have to do to get back in this one?
You know, they gotta stick to what they're most comfortable with. You know, get it to O'Brien.
Yeah.
I see that he's a powerhouse. You know, he only has 2 points
Yeah.
for the second half. You know,
That's way down from he's number 6 in the league in scoring.
That's
averaging
right.
about 13 points a game. 2 points from him. The Sonics got to get offense running through him.
they gotta hit a hot streak with someone. Someone has to get it done.
Which is going to be tough because the Pistons have big Chuck Washington down low, and he's going to prove to be a little difficult for Michael O'Brien. But you think he'll be up for the task?
I think he'll be up for the task.
All right. Do you think the Sonics can pull this one out or no?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say.
All right. Well.
I can say that I was just talking to one of the coaches of the Kings,
Yeah.
and he was saying that he predicted the Pistons to blow the Sonics up by 20 or so, and he's hoping that doesn't happen because if the Pistons beat the Sonics by a blowout, their confidence will be high going into that championship game, and no other team wants the Pistons to win against the Sonics in a blowout.
Well, there's no question that the Pistons are proving to everyone else and themselves that when they're on the top of their game, they're impossible to beat. So if this game continues like it is right now, look out.
It'll be tough.
Look out for the Pistons.
Right.
But we'll be right back with you to bring you the second half of this game. The Pistons over the Sonics so far. Stay tuned.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to first playoff game today of a 2-game series. We have the Pistons versus the Sonics. Score right now is 25 Pistons, 12 Sonics. Half about to start. We're looking for a Sonics comeback here. We'll see though. They're down a lot, but this is where they're most comfortable. They're a come from behind team, and they have something to work on, and that's what they're going to keep their eye on. We got travel on the Pistons.
Looks like we picked up right where we left off in the first half with turnovers, huh?
Right. You know, Pistons commit the first turnover. Maybe set the tone for a good thing. For the Sonics, that is, not the Pistons.
Ariel Hurts working on the defense. There's Michael O'Brien. We talked about how they got to use him more. Over to Hopkins, back to Cabo. Drives inside, off the glass, and in. That's a nice shot. Siddiqui Cabo's now got 6 on the game for him. The lead is now 25-14, Pistons.
Almost a good screen there. Sonics playing a tough, aggressive defense here.
That's what they have to do if they want to shut down the... Wow, that was a nice drive and a spin by Ricky Douglas, but...
Almost there, not quite.
No good on the putback.
Another turnover on the fast break. That's... That under control, you know?
We haven't even played 2 minutes and we've had 5 turnovers already.
The way this is going.
And no points.
We may break some records at the end of this game.
Pistons aren't looking so great coming out of the half.
Almost by Cabo. I thought that was in. The fadeaway. Fadeaway by Carl.
And just like that, the Sonics have scored 3 baskets.
Yeah.
Pistons have none. In fact, they have 2 turnovers.
There's another one. It's the lead now, 26-16.
Nice little move there.
Hot sauce move right there by Ariel.
No ankle breaking, but good enough. The big man.
Like I said during the first half, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall in the Sonics locker room.
I want to know what he said.
Playing with fire.
Look at him. They cut it down.
And if I could say, Chase Powell and O'Brien are the 2 grinders for the Sonics. If Carl can keep his head on right, keep his head cool, same thing with O'Brien, they can actually doubly bring up the Sonics to at least cutting this lead in half.
Well, it's definitely possible.
But the thing is Carl and O'Brien are both known to be hotheads.
Yeah.
So if they can keep their cool, they can bring the Sonics team back into this. Look at that!
Whoa! LeBron James drive right there.
It's not just those 2, I guess. I mean, everybody's stepping up for the Sonics right now.
Yeah, I wonder what that coach said to him at halftime.
I wish I was a fly on the wall in that locker room, boy.
Well, whatever it said, it certainly stuck.
It's working. Right. Lead down to 7. That is.
Cabo over to Hurts, who pops up a 3. Oh, I thought that was good.
Little short. Ooh. Doesn't give up on it, though. Save the pass from out of bounds.
Oh, goes up for the 3. Swatted away.
You know,
nice play right there.
The Sonics are already doing something different from this half than from the first half. Is they're actually following up their shots.
Getting the rebounds.
They're getting their rebounds. They weren't doing that at all. They were just shooting and running back to the other end of the court.
Right, they seem kind of lost up,
Daniel for 3. Got it. Daniel by 2, my mistake. Wow, and that's a killer for the Sonics. They come all the way back, and then just like that, they're down 10. Cabo steps out of bounds.
Out of bounds on the Sonics, but Sonics coach is screaming for a foul.
Yeah. There's number 15. Ricky Douglas now making a nice move inside, puts it up. No good, but it's
under the bus during the halftime thing. Of course. I said I didn't mention your name, but I said I talked to one of the Kings coaches who was saying predicted them on by 20, but they don't want no team wants the Pistons to.
Yeah, quick scoring rundown while we have the chance. So the Pistons, Chuck Washington's got 2, Hervé Charles has 4, Ricky McCoy's got 5, Steve Sands 2, Kyle Rufo 2 as well, Ellen Daniel 4 points, all those off free throws. Ricky Douglas has got 8, and it'll stay at 8 as he misses both of his free throws. Daniel by 2 has got 3 for the Pistons.
No faith, right?
And for the Sonics, Siddiqui Cabo is leading the team with 8. Jace Carl right behind him with 6. Mike O'Brien, talked about him at halftime, with 4. And Caleb Hopkins rounding it out with 2. A lot more people on the Pistons for the hole in the net. A lot more spread out. They do have 10 more points to deal with.
But certainly. Yeah. I think we'll see a change in that, though.
Yeah. Siddiqui Cabo puts up a 3.
He's good.
I wanted to tell you.
That one rattled in.
I found
you can hear that from all the way over here.
Yeah, it fits me perfect. It's purple and black.
Things getting a little aggressive out there. Oh. Nice idea for the pass. Bell and Daniel thought he had McKendy Noel open, but a nice drive by Jace Carr, but just not enough. And he steals it. Great hustle.
Never giving up on the play.
No, great hustle. Strip by Juan German. Ariel Hurts back over to Cabo.
Yeah. Just running the desk.
Inside to O'Brien, and he's fouled.
No, I'm just running the
desk.
desk.
Because of that double bonus, they'll be right back to the line.
Now they do 15% commission on every show you go. Plus 20% tip on the in-house.
Oh, no, never mind. It'll be an inbound. My mistake.
We're going in prime time, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Cabo inbounding for the Sonics.
Yeah. Cash money, too.
Trying to find an open man. He's running out of time. Got to kick that deep to Juan German, and a foul called on Bell and Daniel.
Right.
Wow.
We might see a big change here.
You know, and I think that if he didn't go after him, he may have stepped over the line himself and got a backcourt violation, so
it's possible.
By the way, guys, sorry for that. I just want to apologize at home. The coach of the Kings, Glenn Higgins, is taking pictures stepping in front of our camera. he's here taking pictures because Jim Valenti no-showed on the biggest weekend of the MNBL. Jim Valenti is the league photographer.
Speaking of big, Michael O'Brien gets another 2. He had 2 at the end of the half, and he's already back to 6. Right. And what do you know? The Sonics are back within 5. So, by the way, looks like you were right with your coach's game plan of the half assessment this time.
By the way, Jim, he told me to say that.
One thing that, if you're down in the first half, your coach tells you what you're doing wrong, and you work for it, and you have something to work on in the game.
That's also a little bit better than maybe being up, because there's not things you can key in on,
Right.
To maybe improve on, but... So we'll see if the Sonics can keep this going.
You were just saying that.
Right. Rebounds are, again, very important.
By 2 makes his second. 4 points on the day for number 24 on the Pistons.
Hey, guys, if I could just interrupt you for 1 second. While I have Coach Glenn Higgins standing next to me, I want to see if I can get a few words from him on this game.
That was a layup by...
No, not like that. What do you think of this game? What do you think of this game?
Shy.
Yeah, right. Guess who just walked in the building?
Hey, the guy is supposed to be here to take pictures.
So what do you think of the Pistons' first half, and what do you think the Sonics have to do to get back in this game?
The Sonics right now definitely have to get offensive rebounds. Right now they're lacking. They're getting one shot. They're not following the ball. They're taking ill-advised threes. That's the third one that's been blocked in three-point land. And the Pistons are relying too much on the three. They should shock the Sonics and just go inside.
If you had to choose one of these two teams to face in the big dance, provided the Kings make it there, which one would you like to face?
No brainer. Sonics. We match up better. I mean, I'd love to play the Pistons, don't get me wrong, but they can just be too dangerous at times. Half the game they're good, half the game they're on, and when they're on, it's just tough to match their scoring.
All right, thanks a lot for that insight there, Coach Glenn Higgins of the MNBL Kings. Guys, back to you.
Speaking of the Kings, I'd like to unravel my pick for this year's MNBL championship, and I'm going to have to go with the Kings. While we were on the subject, talking to the coach. But we'll see how that goes. They're coming up playing the Lakers soon, but I think the Kings are just too talented. I think the acquisitions they made before the trade deadline just put them over the top, and that's my team I'm looking at going into the final week here.
You know, you might not be wrong. With, if McMillan and Taekwon show up,
and not only do they show up, if they get along in the court.
Well, that's what I mean. If they show up to play,
yeah.
If they show up as an athlete and not as jokers,
then
the Kings have a potential to go all the way.
That's a two-headed monster. That's tough to take down.
Absolutely.
Oh, going hard into the stands.
Be careful pushing back. You push the table, it pushes the tripod.
Brian over to German.
Got a little head on it, I think.
Ricky Douglas got a hand on the shot. Daniel by two. Over to Bell, and Daniel puts up a three. Got it.
I was just about to say this game is a lot closer than people are thinking. That was before that three-point shot, but...
Yeah, that's a dagger right there.
Yeah.
Puts the Pistons back up by 11, and the Sonics making a couple nice runs, but they continually unable to make a over the hump, and get above the Pistons on the scoreboard.
It makes it that much more difficult to come back, But just like that, O'Brien will go to the line with a two. Minute 14 left in the third quarter.
You see, the coaches have been checking the book to make sure the sliding scale is in effect and working properly.
Yeah.
This is the time now where it's going to come into play. You'll see a lot of substitutions that you probably wouldn't see normally.
Metzger on his second.
Come on, guys. You guys got this.
Oh, and it's good. The three. 2 threes in a row by the Pistons.
Those are not lucky shots that the Sonics need the Pistons to be hitting right now.
Right, he was wide open on that one, too.
But he front-rimmed it, and he got a lucky bounce. And that's another nail in the coffin, I think.
It is.
The Sonics are still fighting, but we're coming down to the final seconds of the third quarter. And the Sonics and the Pistons are trading baskets, and you can't do that at this stage of the game if you're the Sonics.
Right, certainly not. I mean, they were only down 5. Now they're down the whole 13 points. It's
And when you're trading baskets down 13, you're not going to make a comeback that way.
Yeah.
right.
Rufo with the rebound for the Pistons. Juan German with the steal. Over to Caleb Hopkins, who we haven't seen much of ever since that elbow injury. Back in now, and there's Bell and Daniel with an easy lay-in. Well, cherry picking right there. Right, hanging out under the hoop. Gets the pass. Siddiqui Cabo calling for a timeout of the Sonics because they gotta
timeout.
They gotta figure something out.
A timeout with 1.1 seconds left in the third quarter. I think it's a wasted timeout. They could have used a quarter change to talk about what they have to talk about. Now they're down a timeout going into the fourth. Bad coaching.
On a timeout called by the Sonics. 1.1 seconds left. You said it. 45-30 now. The Pistons lead.
Right.
If you didn't think
that lead just disappeared.
Yeah.
if you didn't think it was exciting in the first half, the next 10 minutes are going to be absolutely crazy in this gym.
Yeah. Should be good. Regardless of the score, this is a playoff game, and no one's going to bank it in just yet.
And if you think this game was crazy, wait till the next one.
Game.
Right.
That next game is going to be
Because it's
unbelievable.
family versus family in so many different aspects. It's
Can't
gonna be
wait.
standing room only. They're going to be standing on the sidelines on the court. There's going to be so many people here.
I can't wait. That's going to be a great one. My pick to win it all, the Kings going up against the Lakers.
You know what?
Beanie's Lakers.
You know what's funny is we've all picked either the Lakers or the Kings. Nobody's picked anybody from this team. From this game. And this is 1-4.
I know. It's just I'm having trouble picking the Pistons. I don't know.
Everybody is for some reason.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe because they were too good during the regular season, everybody thinks that they've run their course.
Yeah, and everyone from New England knows about that all too well.
Oh yeah, you
So
didn't say that.
maybe
again.
that's why. It's all too
A
familiar.
little jaded from the Patriots, but at least we weren't from the Celtics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At least the Celtics didn't disappoint.
That's true.
Boston Celtics, that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see though. You know, we got a almost packed house, pretty close to it.
Oh no, it's packed. There's take a look at the concession stand area. That's where the spaces and the bleachers are from. Everybody's getting pizza between the quarters. But this place is packed. So packed, I had a line behind me. I had to shoot people away because they're having conversations getting picked up on the microphone. Someday we'll have our own cablecast booth down here. We'll be able to be in our own private section. But until that happens, people got to respect us.
I think they should put in some skyboxes.
Well, I've been asking Nestor Belli to bring some caution tape for the past season.
Skyboxes, that'd be nice.
Don't you think like a press box up there?
Don't you like the court side?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. But
Because this is a new thing for the MNBL.
I like this. So I'm saying for the fans, you know, get another level of a second level of.
Yeah, why not? The ceiling's tall enough. We could do it.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's
Right.
the final 10 minutes of the first round of the semifinals.
The Pistons with a 15-point lead over the 4-seeded Sonics. 1 versus 4. The nearly undefeated Pistons looking like they regained their swag if they lost any of it in the final game versus the Bullets.
By the way, to give you guys a little heads up on how the sliding scale works, just now, Ken Mazonson, commissioner, was keeping track of the minutes, just called over coach of the Pistons, Paul Conrad, and said you need to get so-and-so in for this amount of minutes and so-and-so in for that amount of minutes in this quarter, otherwise stoppage will happen. So that's kind of how, if the coach can't keep track and kind of loses track, the commissioner is there to back him up.
Yeah,
so I guess that's easy.
We'll see if that plays into...
It will, definitely.
I mean, you may see a swing maybe in the Sonics' favor if the Pistons have to get rid of some of their big playmakers in the final quarter.
Right.
Well, I don't have the stats in front of me, so I mean, I don't know how well the Pistons bench is, but I can imagine it can't be too bad. They only have one loss.
There's Michael O'Brien back at it. He's got 8 points on the day, and Jace Carl with a steal. Back to O'Brien. Goes up and swatted away by Ricky Douglas. Don't bring that Kool-Aid to a grown man's party.
Nice!
Swatted back. And that's a big play right there for the Pistons.
It is. You know, the Sonics almost scored 4 in a row, but they still able to stop it.
Hey, you never know. Michael O'Brien gets another one going.
Ooh.
He could start to catch fire here, but Ricky Douglas says, And there's Jace Carl stripping Ricky Douglas. Or no, Caleb Hopkins, my bad. Cabo over to Gene Borgella. Nifty pass, but no dice.
Wasn't quite ready for it.
No. Hopkins now making a move, opens up an awkward-looking shot. Rebounds pulled down by Jace Carl. Gets a basket and 1. Wow. Hey.
That's the type of player Chase Carl is. He'll go to the hoop, he'll draw the foul, and 9 out of 10 times he'll hit that basket.
So don't count them out just yet.
Certainly not.
The Sonics still have a pulse here.
Yeah, just like that, they were down 15. Now they're only down 11.
Yeah.
Maybe 9.
Yeah. I think they just haven't updated the scoreboard yet.
I think, just a hint, just an idea, I think the Pistons wanted a timeout there. I'm not sure on that.
Yeah.
But I could tell by all the screaming of timeout, 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 but, you know. 10-point difference here.
It's down to the wire now. 8 minutes and 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Sonics down by 10, but don't count them out.
Well, the Sonics are hanging around. They're not rolling over and dying, and you wouldn't expect them to.
Certainly not.
I don't think. I mean, there's 8 minutes, 17 seconds left. There's still plenty of time. But unless substitutions come into play with the sliding scale, I don't think, and it's unfortunate because I predicted the Sonics to make it all the way, but I don't think the Sonics are going to come back and take this game.
Right.
I think the Pistons have it landed down.
Right. I don't see it happening either unless they really take a commanding presence. You know, plenty of time, but that means plenty of time for both teams to score, not just the Sonics.
Exactly. And right now, the way the second half is gone, they've been trading baskets back and forth, and they haven't been able to break that 10-point barrier that they've been down by, and that's going to hurt them come the final minutes of this game.
Right, you know, they'll have to start fouling, and they'll play the foul game, and it won't be good.
Gene Borgella now working the ball for the Sonics over to Jace Carl, down low to Mike O'Brien, who we've seen catch fire here in the second half. We talked about how they've got to use him more. Had 2 points in the first half. He's now up to 11. So he's got 9 points in the second half. We talked about how important he is to the Sonics offense, so we'll see if they can continue to work the offense through him and maybe chew a little bit more of this lead off as we approach the 7-minute mark. Uh-oh, that was almost bad news for the Sonics. Daniel had a nice open 3-shot, and there's Jace Carl.
Yeah.
Hoop.
That's
too much.
Daniel's hot spot too. That corner of the arc. That's his money shot right there.
Got a little lucky right there for the Sonics, but then it comes right back to bite him as Jace Carl just a little overshoots the easy land.
They couldn't capitalize, and those are the things that are hurting them in this game, is they can't capitalize on the mistakes the Pistons are making.
Exactly, and especially when you're playing a team like the Pistons, who doesn't make many mistakes, you better capitalize on the ones that they do make.
Exactly.
All right.
I have to say, this is not the same Sonics team playing today. They're not playing the same way today as they did that game during the regular season where they almost beat the Pistons.
What do you think's different?
Maybe it's the pressure of the playoffs. I don't know, but there's something missing from the Sonics team today.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find that something. They only got 6 minutes left here, so they better hurry up. There's Big Chuck Washington making his first of 2 free throws. Haven't heard his name in a while.
Right, maybe he's in foul trouble. You know, other people need minutes, but now it's a very good time to put him in.
Yeah. We talked about there's a lane violation, my mistake. We talked about how important Michael O'Brien is. It looks like maybe he's almost neutralized Washington of the Pistons, doing a great job on defense and offense. As Sadiki Cabo pushed out of bounds, a foul called on the Pistons. Five and a half minutes left here in the fourth and final quarter.
Right.
The first
clock is ticking.
Yeah. Again, it's the first of 2 semifinal games to be played today. Pistons Sonics. Pistons right now up 11. Next game will be the Lakers and the Kings. Sadiki Cabo, no good.
Let's go, guys.
Man, they're not hitting the shots when they've got pressure on them, and they
And
can't hit the
even 5
shots
minutes
when they're
left now in the
free.
game.
Sure, yeah. And that's an issue.
I think that's a huge issue. I would call a timeout and yell at them to hit their free throws. I mean, every time the can move.
That was nice.
That was a beautiful move.
Daniel Baitu getting his 9th and 10th point of the night. Day, rather. Uh-oh, there he is again. Oh, a little too much on the easy look. Thank God he's got Bella Daniel to back him up.
He was a little cocky going into that drive because he hits that every single time, that shot. And I'll tell you, the Pistons are running away with this.
Yeah.
Looks like coach of the Kings that made that prediction to me during the halftime. Looks like that's going to come true because it's a 15-point lead now.
Yeah.
I don't see the Sonics coming back.
Yeah.
I don't really see it either. You know, they're looking a little dejected. You know, no one ran down to swat the lay-in. He missed it, but because no Sonics players were there, Pistons laid it back in.
You know what I think it was? I think it was Bella Daniel and Douglas hitting those threes in the third quarter.
Yeah.
That absolute. I mean, the Sonics came back. They got it within 5 points. Their momentum was on their favor, and then those threes were hit, and that just took the steam right out.
And that's the mark of a good team,
Absolutely.
you know? When they have a lead, but the other team starts to come back, a good team will sniff it out and put a stop to it. And that's what the Pistons have done. And a three-pointer is a great way to do that. It's a killer.
And they hit 3 in a row, I believe.
Yeah. And that deflates the other team. Like O'Brien, a little off with the shot. Hawkins down low to Sadiki Cabo, but there's a foul called.
Now, every time the Pistons commit a foul, the Sonics are going to the line. So they need to hit their free throws.
Yeah.
I mean, they could come back in this game just on free throws alone if there's enough fouls committed.
If they hit them.
But they got to hit them.
That's important.
That's key.
Here's Caleb Hopkins. He's only got 2 points today for the Sonics. So he misses that one. You talk about something missing. Caleb Hopkins is usually a great scorer for the Sonics, and not today.
Their heads aren't in it for some reason, it seems.
Yeah.
Like. Something's not right.
If only we knew.
It's that athlete, that X factor, I guess. I don't know. He hits the second one, though. At least he hit 1 out of 2.
Yeah.
Not a great percentage at this point in the game.
No. Oh, nice turnover right there. Michael Bryan with the steal. Cabo over to Hopkins, but it's swatted away. Back over to Ricky Douglas, who goes up. And he's fouled by Keegan Wilcox.
See, the Sonics only have 16 fouls, so they should be fouling the Pistons every time the Pistons are on their side of the court.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
They're not in foul trouble at all. They're not in any bonus. I mean, the next foul will be a bonus. It will be 1-on-1. But, I mean, you're down by 14, 15 points.
Yeah.
If the Pistons are hitting every time they get the ball, commit those fouls.
Right. Any little thing can help.
And the Pistons, in the same sense, need to slow it down because they don't need to rush the baskets anymore. All they got to do is shave the clock. They've got this game won if they do that.
Yeah.
There's no need for that right there to happen. They're just trying to run the score up. The players are now. I'm sure the coach doesn't want that to happen, but the players are definitely making it happen.
Nice move by Michael Bryan to the basket, as he's got 13 points, 11 coming in the second half, but we talked about that earlier. Ricky Douglas now. Pass over to Washington, stolen by Jace Carl. Wow, and a behind-the-back pass. An interesting choice.
See, now, the Sonics are in the hurry-up, and they need to be because they're down.
Right.
The Pistons are also in the hurry-up, but they don't need to be.
Yeah, they should be taking down the clock at every chance they get.
They got lucky there when Chase Carl lost that ball because that was a stupid pass.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need for any of this. They should go into the Carolina shame or something, you know?
Yeah.
Game's over for them. They don't need to score anymore. And you never know. That could cost them the game.
Wow.
I mean, the Sonics are starting to hit their shots.
Mike O'Brien absolutely coming alive right now for the Sonics. He's got 17 points after having only 2 in the first half.
Right, he wants to win. He doesn't want to say it's over.
Coach Conrad is yelling at his Pistons team saying, use your heads.
Yeah. Slow down. Gene Borgella up for the layup. No good. Hopkins on the rebound. No good as well. Borgella nearly gets the and one.
It's okay. He'll be going to the line for 2, though.
His game isn't over.
Nope.
Right.
Not by any means.
Pistons coach will take a timeout.
Charlie.
Ricky McCoy out there. The Pistons looks like he's hobbling for some reason.
Right, maybe that hard fall he had earlier.
And knee looks like he's hurting. Shouldn't be much of an issue for the Pistons, though, as they're up 13 points here with just over 2 minutes left.
I need room.
Sonics trying to make a run, but every time they score, the Pistons score right back, so they're not getting anywhere.
It's got to be annoying for the Sonics.
Yeah.
Oh.
They continually make runs, but every time they get close, the Pistons, as we said, mark of a good team, doesn't let them get over the hump. Pistons being led by Ricky Douglas, scored 14. Bellin Daniel, we talked about him, a very versatile player, has got 13 points for the Pistons, and Daniel by 2, chipping in 10. The Sonics, of course, Mike O'Brien, we talked about him, he's got 12. Siddiqui Cabo has 13. Jace Carl has 9. Other than that, really,
Nah, not much else.
No.
Right.
Oh, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the game, but on Thursday, the Pistons had a 3-hour practice preparing for this game.
The Pistons?
And the Pistons, yep.
Wow.
It was after their first loss of the regular season. They had a 3-hour practice on Thursday preparing for both the Sonics and whomever they may face in the big dance, provided they get there, and it looks like they will at this point.
Wow. There you go, see?
Maybe that 3-hour practice had something to do with it.
That's what makes a team like this so good. It's all the practice. Not accepting a loss like that. And instead of just shrugging it off and going, yeah, we won every other game, they had that long practice. Maybe it's paying dividends right now. The clock ticks down.
This is what they need to do. This is it. Ricky Douglas.
Oh, a nice save right there, preventing a turnover, but thrown away anyways. Siddiqui Cabo gets the run at the basket. Nice drive, a nice move, but no finish. Minute and 30 left here. First of 2 games to be played today. 55-42, Pistons lead, looking every bit of what people thought they would today. They seem primed to advance to the MNBL Finals tomorrow.
Right. Or they'll take on your Kings?
The Kings or Lakers. Hopefully my Kings. We'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
I have to say, it's obvious that my original prediction is not going to happen now. But I have to say, if the Pistons make it, well, when they make it to the big dance, whether they face the Kings or the Lakers, the Pistons are going to be the favorites, especially with a win this big.
Exactly. They showed that any doubt anyone had in their mind after the loss against the Bullets is to be discarded.
And I guess you always kind of really want to see, in any league or any sport, number one go all the way anyway. I mean,
yeah.
They finished first. They should make it to the championship. If they don't, it's anything but disappointing.
It's true. But these Pistons, I mean, they look like a well-oiled machine right now. 55-42, that's a big win in the playoffs.
Right. Absolutely, it's huge.
Where it's the top 4 teams. Everyone's supposed to be right on par. Yeah, and blowing out a team like this, I mean, this is just, what more can you say about the Pistons and what they've done here today? I mean, the one thing that impresses me the most, and this is because last game I watched the Pistons a couple weeks back, Charles Washington went off in the third. Scored like 20-something points. It was ridiculous. They come into this game, and he's having some difficulty with Mike O'Brien, but that's okay, because they don't need to rely on just one guy. They have someone like Ricky Douglas, Daniel Baitu, Bellin Daniel. These guys step up and one of their best players, Charles Washington, being pretty much neutralized, doesn't even affect them really.
Well, that's the problem for any opponent of the Pistons is you have to neutralize all
Exactly.
5 players on the court.
And that's really, really hard
And
to
that's
do.
extremely difficult.
Yep.
I mean, you can't triple team everybody on the court.
You don't have enough players.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
So that's what I'm most impressed about it, is the depth of this Pistons team, is everyone has the ability to put the ball in the net.
Right, you know, they have outside perimeter shooting, which the Sonics don't have as much.
That's
they have
true,
to drive
you
to the
know.
hoop and make tough shots.
And that's one thing that, you're right, separates these two teams, is Ricky Douglas.
The one
That's a
thing I
three-pointer and one.
The one thing I did not take into consideration when I made my predictions and when I talked about how the Sonics almost beat the Pistons during the regular season was the fact that the Pistons played the Sonics that regular season game 90% of the game with their bench. They had 3 starters that were not there. I did forget about
there you
that.
go, yeah. Nice pass by Siddiqui Cabo. Hawkins unable to sink his first to 2. Cabo goes up for the 3, no good. Pistons rebound as the clock kicks down to 10,
Game
9, 8, 7. The Pistons will be advancing to the MNBL Finals tomorrow, taking on the winner of the Kings-Lakers matchup as they go on to win 61-42 over the 4-seeded Sonics.
Okay.
All right, so we talked about it earlier. The Pistons, so much depth. The Sonics unable to keep up. Are these guys the favorite heading into the finals tomorrow?
Probably. You know, they look good on all aspects. Driving to the hoop, rebounds, free throws.
Yep. Too many weapons.
Right.
It's going to be tough. I mean, we'll see who wins the Kings-Lakers game, see if people jump out to us. But the bottom line is these Pistons, like I said time and time before, when they play top of their game, this is what happens.
Well, like you said just a few minutes ago, they've got too many weapons
Yep.
to isolate and neutralize. You need to play the Pistons 10 on 5.
Yeah.
That's the only way you have a chance of beating them.
Exactly. Like I said a couple games ago, Washington goes up for 20-something points. Usually when you see a team play again and that 20-something point guy goes off for 3 points, you expect them to lose, not blow out a team by 15 points or whatever the final score was. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but we'll be right back to bring you the Kings versus the Lakers, the 2 and 3 seed. Ian Tassel here with Alex Tam. Don't change that channel.